Morning, ladies and gentlemen. While we watch BTC ease back off from quite a strong relative high too, let's talk about the Monero side of things. So the interesting thing is, you probably know, is there was a fork. So this is inside our Basecamp premium group area. In fact, we're reverting to a very exciting new platform. But this has been a really good workhorse for us in the meantime, Basecamp. Anyway, there's a fork coming in Monero, as most of you will probably know. And this is how Monero was set up. When was the date there? That was 3rd of Feb. This was good upside HVF structure. Plus we had to squeeze in the primer. So we were buying on this break here of the primer for early entries with view to a long run objective up there. So if we get a bigger chart, you can see the magnifying glass. 368's is the targets. Possibilities to go 44 because there's a bigger structure, but not as good quality, as pointed out by some of my students. So we may do a partial close up top there, 75%. And this was the level to get long. Around 28 40s would have been a good entry point on a primer inside a macro. You'll learn about how we utilize all these in a program. And on that note, just pop over to themarketsniper.com and hit the get started button there, and you'll get a short questionnaire, a double opt-in, which you've got to click, and then you'll get further details on how you could be part of the community and be both learning the skill and getting the support on trade ideas like this. Anyway, back to Monero. This is how it's doing now. Broke. Nice. Always, typically when you get a primer, you get a break. This could have been your earliest entry. I didn't take it that early. It was very fine and subtle. You need to drop a time frame to see that, and I will drop the time frame. But when you break, you often get that return move. That was then a very big pump. Took the first interim and the second interim in short succession. Big pullback, and then started to form a base there. Held that base. So there clearly was big buyers out there. Wound up again here and is now popping up to the upside. It's quite possible that this over here, the structure, which is once again of a wind up HVF nature, could see this march a fair way, potentially all the way home if it overperforms to that. Or it could run up to a level around here, just through there, and then have a little bit of a respite pullback. It depends on the strength of this. The interesting thing in all of this, though, is if we just take a small shoot past the coin market cap. If you're staying on dollars, for example, there's only 2 coins that are up in dollars, and actually Monero is gaining while Neo is flat. On that point regarding Neo, we illustrated that there was a head and shoulders in play here. And this green is after many, many days of solid selling. So Neo should be a concern for many of you. And I wouldn't be too excited about the fact that it's up today with this structure. We did think it was very bullish. We had an upside at one point that failed. After that upside failed, which was a big warning sign, these primers and these funnels were broken. In spite of that rally, it was a warning, and that looks like it was a right shoulder for a break to the downside. So if you're taking Neo out of that, you'll see that Monero is the only one not losing dollar value. I was okay with even potentially losing dollar value, providing we were gaining BTC value. So if we turn to BTC, you're making 4.5%. Once again, all the others negative or very flat. Except Neo, I've already proven as the exception, but it's been hammered for ages, so it's kind of a relief bounce, but it's unlikely to be the end. So Monero has been the coin to be holding over a longer time period. over the longer view, and it will allow us to gain Bitcoin. Because of our view in Bitcoin that this is a pullback only, if you gain that get Bitcoin and then Bitcoin reasserts to the upside, your fiat valuation will once again take care of itself, especially if you've gained Bitcoin while Bitcoin was having its down leg. So it's also asked the question, how's the Monero dollar doing? Well, we traded it and we checked it, and the Monero had its own setup here on the upside. This is how I was also getting quite confident that on balance of probabilities we were going to have a pullback in BTC, because Monero made its dollar target, which meant it would probably churn for a while, like it's doing now, progress decay against the dollar. However, Monero was going to make upside against BTC. So this is what I call triangulation. Triangulation is when you look across multiple markets that are in HVF setups and you compare them to each other. So during this period, while Monero post made its target and was going to lose a little bit of value in dollars and churn, but was going to gain BTC and be an upside, it is therefore a logical point that BTC would probably be losing in dollars at a greater rate, certainly than Monero would be. And hence why we've been expecting, on top of the rising wedge, on top of the rounding top that I've shown in the follow-up video, a down leg. So this is multiple points of data across different pairs that allow you to do this kind of analysis. So as a result, BTC has done that, and Monero is now building you BTC value at the moment, which is what you want. So let's go back there. So this little wind up has had a pop, but it was very ascending. So a couple of things that could be, still see this churn for a while. It's very steeply ascending here, so it could pop and fizzle. Doesn't have to make that target. And it can have it come and stall back down for a while as well. So it doesn't mean it's all just straight line rips everywhere. You can see for an extended period it's been in this situation, this churn up. It can pop. It's now properly cleared the second interim after a nose through. You can see how that was clearly resistance again. You'll learn about key levels of significance and how we utilize them and how HVF gives you that. Note also the support here for the low 2 on the interim 1. And yeah, what else can I tell you about this? So our expectation is on balance of probabilities. Please note, this is not a guarantee. You'll see a 3688. In fact, there's even scope for a 44, but that's a lot messier and lower prob. So I would probably be doing a primary 75% closure at this point, and then look to over performance manage, which is something else you'll learn on a program, which will be we'll give you an offer, by the way, on that after that free webinar, which is on the 13th of March, which I think I showed you the website already for. So go get started there. You'll get the webinar, you'll get the 7 key mistakes traders make, and the 3 great gifts. And more importantly, an offer to become part of our community as well, if you are well resourced and you value it sufficiently, and you understand a little bit, or you feel aligned by the principles. If this is not resonating, then we are not for you, and that's still okay. You're welcome to stay as a friend on the YouTube channel. I'm going to keep this short, still recovering from a very bad fever. So that's how we are at. We're holding Monero from around here. We're wanting it, or expecting it to be one of the better performers during a bit of a dull period now, where fiat holdings actually will do okay too. I do have a small amount of fiat ready to go on the BTC final bottoming, which I'd anticipate. Bit of a guesstimation somewhere around here. I don't think it's too far away. As I start to see that, I'll get rid of any small residual amounts of tether I have. I have about 10% in tether. The bulk is in Monero and BTC. I'm prepared to write the BTC down because I've got an outer size holding in Monero and I'm gaining. I just don't want to flick my entire portfolio in and out all the time. because of the longer run bullish nature of this. So around 65% Monero, 10% Tether, which I'm ready to jump in on this downside, and the remainder is in BTC. Okay, that's your video, and pop on over to see us. It's the 13th. I'm sure I'll be bouncy squirrels again, and you will be part of our webinar then on themarketsniper.com. Get started if it's interesting to you. Otherwise, hope the charts are useful, and that's how we're sitting out this sell-off period in Bitcoin.